Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and hit the bell icon. Alex's friend's awful 1923 fate calls back to Spencer Dutton's tragic origin. The way the story ends for Alex Dutton's, Julia Schletfer, friends in 1923 is awful, and their fates call back to Spencer Dutton's, Brandon Sklenar, tragic origin story. Spencer's wife experiences a harrowing journey in 1923 Season 2, fueled by her determination to reunite with her child's father. After Paul, Augustus Prue, and Hillary, Janet Montgomery, rescue Alex in the Chicago train station, it looks like Alex has experienced a twist of fate, returning with the couple to their home in Winnetka for a bit of respite. Shockingly, the Chicagoans even offered to personally drive Alex to Emigrant, Montana. While the development warmed my heart momentarily, I worried about the Brits' journey, since the worst things happened to Alex Dutton in 1923. Paul and Hillary joining forces with the character made their stories just as ill-fated, adding to the list of tragedies 1923's characters have encountered in the face of winter. It's been a cruel and unforgiving wintertime for Jacob, Harrison Ford, and Cara Dutton's Helen Mirren family, with Elizabeth Strafford, Michelle Randolph, losing her husband Jack, Darren Mann, in Episode 6. Therefore, Alex's friend's 1923 story joined the list of tragedies the family has endured. When Paul and Hillary appeared on Alex's westbound Union Pacific train heading for Chicago, the Brits were a bit brazen. Hillary made vulgar assumptions about Alex's bruises and the men in America, not knowing Spencer's wife was beaten in the Grand Central Terminal in 1923 Season 2, Episode 4. However, when Alex serves them later in the dining car, she reveals her wit, making an insightful remark about the declining value of Francis franc. Alex's comment causes the couple to take a liking to their server, motivating Paul and Hillary to step in and save Alex on 2 occasions. Paul and Hillary take Alex to Winnetka after speaking to the Chicago police on her behalf. As they host her over tea and cigarettes, the couple hear Alex and Spencer's incredible 1923 story, with Paul remarking it's the most fantastic thing he's heard. The epic tale causes Paul to step up and offer to drive Alex to Montana. While the whimsical gesture was kind-hearted, it was ultimately a fatal excursion. The temperature plummets as Paul and Hillary drive Alex through the American North, with snow beginning to coat the road as the group approaches Buffalo, Wyoming. Despite a woman at the gas station telling Paul and Hillary that Alex should take the train to Montana, remarking that the roads will be more treacherous as their journey continues, the group fails to heed the local wisdom. An ominous tone sets in as Paul and Hillary begin to shiver, with Paul giving his wife his gloves and Alex getting on the floor to stay warm. When she wakes up on the roadside, Alex remarks to Hillary, only to find her friend frozen to death in the passenger seat. Despite foreshadowing, the development made for a shocking Yellowstone death. Unfortunately, Paul and Hillary's freezing to death is a painful reminder of a shocking death within the Dutton family. While 1923 follows some of the earliest family members, the show was preceded by 1883, the earliest set Yellowstone prequel about the Dutton family featuring James, Tim McGraw, and Margaret Dutton, Faith Hill. While he does not appear in 1883 and didn't witness his family's journey along the Oregon Trail to Montana, Spencer is Margaret's youngest child, born after the family settled in Paradise Valley. Spencer was born after his sister, Elsa, Isabel May, died, marking the end of his family's journey. Despite Elsa's 1883 death due to the perilous nature of the journey, James and Margaret Dutton survived the trip, living to settle in the Paradise Valley with their son John, Audie Rick. However, when 1923 Season 1 premiered as the spiritual sequel to 1883, Elsa Dutton's narration revealed an ominous development about her mother, explaining why Jacob and Cara now run the ranch. Elsa reveals that after her father's death, Margaret Dutton froze to death, with Jacob finding her in a snowdrift. The mother's death left her two boys, John and Spencer, to fend for themselves in the cold. Unfortunately, the fate of Alex's friends in 1923 Season 2, Episode 6, resembles what happened to Spencer's mother, Margaret. That could come back in the final. It was devastating to watch Alex discover that Paul and Hillary were dead. The experience added another trauma to Alex's list. Moreover, Paul and Hillary became Alex's friends along the journey. If she makes it to the ranch now, Spencer's wife will not only be worse for wear, but she will be mourning the loss of two friends. The awful Yellowstone deaths could have a silver lining, though, bringing Alex and Spencer even closer. If Alex makes it to the ranch now, she will have an epic story to tell, with Paul and Hillary's deaths being one of the most recent and impactful elements. Upon hearing the saga, Spencer will be able to empathize with Alex's situation completely, having lost his mother to the brutal cold. Spencer will surely understand Alex's hardship, and she will understand his. Elsa Dutton tells us in 1923's premiere that Jacob was the one to find Margaret's frozen corpse, so Spencer's uncle, too, will be able to empathize with Alex like he did with Elizabeth, probably even more so. In 1923, the prequel to Yellowstone, the rich tapestry of the Dutton family saga is woven with threads of love, war, and sacrifice. Among the most compelling and heart-wrenching narratives is that of Spencer Dutton and his whirlwind romance with Alexandra, or Alex, as she prefers. Their love, born in the embers of personal loss and colonial upheaval, stands as a defiant flame against the chaos of a crumbling world. But as the story unfolds, a haunting echo from Spencer's past emerges, casting a chilling shadow over the fate of Alex's friends, and drawing an eerie parallel to Spencer's own tragic origin. To truly understand the weight of Alex's friend's fate, one must first return to Spencer's beginnings. A decorated World War I veteran, Spencer Dutton carries the invisible wounds of war, haunted not just by what he saw, but by what he lost. Born to James and Margaret Dutton, Spencer's early life was marked by the violent struggles of frontier survival. But it was the aftermath of the Great War that truly reshaped him. He emerged from the trenches not only scared but lost, drifting through Africa as a big-game hunter, seeking something, perhaps meaning, perhaps oblivion. It was here that he met Alex, and for the first time, something in him began to heal. Alex's friends, by contrast, were the children of British colonial privilege, lively, cultured, and largely untouched by the rawness of the world. They roamed East Africa with a reckless abandon that was equal parts charm and danger. But beneath their glittering lifestyle lay the same brittleness that had shattered Spencer. When they met Spencer and Alex, their initial disdain gave way to curiosity. But curiosity in 1923 is often a prelude to catastrophe. Their tragic end, brutal and abrupt, served as a brutal reminder that the illusion of safety is just that, an illusion. Whether it was through a safari gone wrong, an ambush by local rebels, or a natural disaster that swept away their fragile world, their deaths were a jarring jolt to Alex and Spencer. For Alex, it shattered the last remnant of her former life. For Spencer, it was déjà vu, the same kind of senseless loss that had marked his childhood and war-torn youth. What's most haunting is how these deaths mirror Spencer's own family losses. As a child, Spencer lost his parents under equally tragic and mysterious circumstances, events that were never fully explained but left deep scars. Margaret Dutton's death, following James's earlier demise, left Spencer and his brother John orphaned. The lack of closure, the trauma of being thrust into the care of distant relatives or guardians, and the weight of a legacy built on blood, all of it shaped Spencer into a man who understood grief far too well for his age. Alex's grief, then, becomes a mirror to Spencer's. Her transformation, from a spirited, carefree noblewoman to a woman who has looked death in the eye, is both a character arc and a thematic callback. Her sobering experience strips away the glamour of privilege, leaving her raw and real, much like Spencer. In a way, it binds them even closer, their love forged now not only in passion but in mutual loss. There's also a tragic irony here. Alex's friends saw Spencer as dangerous, uncouth, a man too close to death. In the end, it wasn't Spencer who endangered them, it was the very world they romanticized. Their deaths, in many ways, validate Spencer's deep mistrust of beauty without depth, of safety without preparation. It also reinforces the brutal theme of 1923. No one, no matter how privileged, is safe from the tides of change and violence. Moreover, the fate of Alex's friends underscores the series' larger commentary on colonialism and fragility. While the British elite partied and posed, they ignored the rising unrest and resentment brewing around them. Their deaths serve not just as personal tragedy, but as a metaphorical collapse of the empire's illusion of control. Just as Spencer's America was reshaped by war and westward expansion, Alex's British world is crumbling under its own arrogance.